Hello and welcome back to Train Sim World 3. Today we're going to be doing a little bit of cold and dark startup and then shuffling around the yard over to the trains, choose a route at Cajon Pass. That's what we'll be doing today. It is the first scenario for Cajon Pass, which is shop class. We are going to try and beat my score. I actually like this way of doing it where I run it first once and I set a score. Obviously it's going to hopefully be rubbish. Sometimes I fluke it. Then we get to see if me talking over a video hampers me in any way, which I can tell you now it does a little bit. But yes, we're going to be taking out the ES44C4. That's how I'm going to say that. And it does say bring it into service, and it is full on bring into service. I'm actually pleased this exists because there's a little more information in here than there is in the training modules. You can almost look at it as a training module in itself. There we go then, shop class. Good morning, engineer. It's a nice and early start for you, is it? Oh, it is as well. Look at that, 5 a.m. Oh, I was reading that. There is a way to bring that back up, isn't there? In here, message log. There you go. What did you say? It's a nice and early start for you. Yes, well, it's actually not far off 5 a.m. Here it's 3 a.m. Perform a cold start on this pair of ES44C4s and head over to the reception yard. What we've got to do is go ahead and refuel this and then hook it up to an existing consist, which I'm hoping, I'm not sure whether it does exist, but I'm hoping it's the start of an actual timetable route. But there's our train, and before we get in, I'd like to just say I've had an absolute nightmare getting this video to you. It's been everything that could go wrong did go wrong in multiple ways, and I compounded that by trying to remove some of the stutter in the game and messing with the settings. It still looks alright. I don't know whether I've achieved it because I got cheesed off trying. Yeah, we'll talk more about that when we get to... Which way does this door open? Lovely. When we get to the section of this scenario that's a little bit of a drive, I think that opens out that way. Yeah, look for the hinges, Grant. They're a good clue. Right, jump in the engineer's seat. This is what we need to do to get one of these started. I'm going to open the windows as well. There we go. Because it's a lovely sunny morning. Yeah, very nice. This might be useful if you find yourself stuck in one of these engines and don't know how to get it moving. Say you take over a scenario or a timetable. But most of it should be familiar for you. Engine run on. Press the fuel pump button. So we go over to this back panel now. I thought this is kind of nice. And we switch the fuel pump on. Then we've got to open our little control panel here. And set the engine control switch to start. There's a lot to it. I do like that it's in depth. And which one is it? It's that one, isn't it? Yeah, we need to set this to start. Then we hold this for 5 seconds. One Mississippi. It's almost 5 seconds now that I butchered all of that. So there, is that 5 seconds? Close enough. Let's see. Yeah, I heard it. I heard it. Now we have to change this back over to run. And we can close the panel there. Right, now we head back over to here. We switch on the generator field and set the control switch to on. Lovely. Now we have to set the brake valves for cut in and lead, which interestingly on this is we get to use the little computer screen here. And I think if you use left cursor key on the keyboard, there you go. Yeah, it brings up this in mega view. So for me, this is recorded at 1440p, so it's massive, isn't it now? Right, so we press F8, which is more options. You can see above the F keys there that we've got, or function keys, their full name. We've got the menu options. It applies to, what does that say there? Operator controls. So we need operator controls. And then F3 applies to the independent brake lead, and F2 applies to auto brake cut in. So we need to press F3, which, if we zoom out here, it changes this to cut out or lead. I think it changes that one. But yeah, interestingly, these are the opposite way round to what they are up here. Is that the actual software that's like that? That's a little bit strange, but okay, there might be a reason for it. And then we've got, what else did we press? Set up the brake valves for cutting and lead. Right, it's just saying the same thing. So keep an eye out for these. We're going to be changing this one. Yes, maybe. F2. Yes, it is. They're the opposite way around. If we press F3 again, which we can, you'll see it's got trail and lead. There you go. And you can hear the brakes changing over. Hit right on the cursor keys, brings us out of the super zoomed up. You can zoom in with your mouse wheel as well. Not sure what it is on the consoles. Anyway, now we get to put the reverser in. Set it to forward? Really? I disagree. I'm actually going to stick the independent brake onto full, which is what it tells you to do in the tutorial. I'm fairly confident it does. I'm also going to stick the lights onto bright, because why not? Make sure that is off. Now I'll stick it into... Oh, no, I took it out. Now I'll stick this into forward. Enable banking comms, of course. Yeah, this is useful, especially if you're doing any hill climbs. I don't think we are today. No. And the only brake we're going to use is the independent brake anyway, because we don't need anything else, as we're not attached to any wagons or any sort of consist. It's just us. There we go. We're just those two locos there. So there we go. We're all set up. Now we can go via Barstow Yard 1800. Whatever that means. We're going to hit 9 on the keyboard to bring up the map, just to check our switching. We're this one. Just there, I'll zoom in. And we want to follow the cyan route that it's setting out. We actually go via here, and then we do a full loop round there. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We can, as far as I know, slide into here. But I don't like it. So what I'm going to do is switch it. I don't think you could you? That's a derailing situation, surely. It wouldn't push the switch over, or would it? I don't know. We're not going to test it out, but I'll go over these regardless, I think, because it's good practice, isn't it? You'll see we've got one here, the same. Would we push that over? We'd only push that over. Yeah, we might push it over, but I don't like the idea of it. Anyway, we've got that set. We've got to go via this here, and I'm going to set this one because I know for a fact we're going to continue on up to this big circle up here. So we'll do that, and then we'll head over there. Thankfully, there's no time limit on this one. It's took us 8 minutes so far, hasn't it, roughly? That's nice. It's pegged as a 30-minute scenario, but that's not how long it takes me to do anything. Anyway, we're going to get a little bit of acceleration going before we release the independent brake with the square brackets. Yeah, square brackets to release that. And just good practice so you don't roll backwards if you're doing a hill start. Anyway, there you go, we're releasing the brakes. But yeah, when we're controlling just a single, or I guess it doesn't matter how many locos, if we haven't got loads of wagons on the back, then independent brake is good enough. There is a speed limit of 10 miles an hour that caught me out on this route, or in this yard. Oh yes, if you have the window open, it does some fantastic stuff there. I should take off the speed, shouldn't I? In fact, I need to brake a bit. Look at us go, we're rolling. But yeah, it does some strange lighting effects, so I'm going to turn that off. Or close it, I should say. Which does turn it off. We can leave that one open, can't we? I think we're actually heading round there, aren't we? No, it's over there somewhere. There's a refueling centre somewhere that we're heading to. I will, this isn't the bit that takes a long time, but I'll probably break it up into 2 parts anyway, because there's a couple of long areas of just cruising around the yard about my adventures in getting this video to you today. It all started on Sunday, and I'm only just recording on Thursday, so that's the thing that happened. Yeah, right, where's our 10 mile an hour? Can't see it yet. I'm going to drop off the throttle, and we're going to change these to follow the line, even though technically we shouldn't need to, but I'm going to change them regardless. That one's fine. And then down here, I'm going to switch that one over. Just in case you're wondering how all that works, you can hover over them, they'll highlight them in blue when there's multiple switches involved. And we're going all the way down here and up to the refueling station over there. There we go, we're almost come to a halt, but we are heading downhill. There we go, we've got a 10 mile an hour speed limit coming up in a little under 350 feet. I was just waiting for it to say under 350 feet. So we'll hover around the... Haven't we been on this one? I feel like we have. No, we haven't. Or have we? No. Have I ever done Cajon Pass? I feel like I have. But it could just be a familiar feeling yard. No, I don't think I have. These don't look familiar. BNSF. Pardon? BNSF. For BNSF. Just say it. It's not difficult. No, I don't think we have been on this. I do like the reflection of the sun. I just think that when the windows are sometimes open, it does something funky. It seems to be okay at the moment. It is definitely better lighting. But anyway, how did my adventure start? Trying to get this video out. Well, for 3 days pretty much solid, it was a case of trying everything under the sun to stop the hitching, the glitches that happen, the micro stutters on long routes. Especially this one. I had something else planned, but the micro stutters annoy me that much. No, we're not doing it. I'll get way too salty by the end of it. Oh, I should have done that, shouldn't I, when we started off? Too late. We did it now. Better late than never. But yeah, I couldn't bring myself to play it because I just wasn't enjoying the micro stutters. They got progressively worse, in fact. And so I ditched that in favour of this one because we're pretty much in the same area, so there's not much loading going on. And I didn't find a cure for it. I did find out that through testing the shader caching, which I didn't think was going to change it, but it doesn't affect it. Not that I've seen. So yeah, that's one thing you can rule out of your diagnosis is, or your diagnostic list, is will shader cache affect it, and not for me. So I don't think that really has any bearing. I was a little worried it was possibly using a mechanical hard drive as opposed to an SSD. But yeah, I think it does it before, as it loads, rather than on the fly. But I did want to rule it out. Oh, we can go 15 now, can't we? I'm just trundling along chatting to you guys. Go on, kick in. I don't need to stick it up to notch 4. It just takes a little while for the power to kick in. I feel like sticking it up to notch 4 just makes that go a little bit more aggressively and we accelerate faster. There we go. So that was the first thing. By yesterday, I was just dejected. Absolutely. I just couldn't face loading up, restarting, trying this, trying that multiple times. I did it for hours. I do it every time there's a new train sim world. Every time there's a new train sim world, and for untold hours in Train Simulator back in the day as well. And I never get any joy. I think I did once. I can't remember what it was, but I managed to find a setting in Train Simulator and it fixed everything, and I was amazed. And then they updated Train Simulator and it naffed everything. So I was left back with rubbish. But anyway, yeah, I wasn't eager to record this at all. But thankfully, the bit that's important in this video, we've already done, which is the cold and dark start, which is handy to have to flick back to if you can't get a train moving for whatever reason. I might even use it myself. Right, anyway, we're off to go and get refueled and take a look at some fantastic physics that remind me of all those like builder simulator games where the physics don't quite work. It's with the hose on the... I probably won't do it now I'm recording, but when I first ran this, or my only run on this, the hose went for it. I did some wonderful things. We'll see if it happens again. So the second thing that happened we're going to talk about after we've refueled. Fortunately, it's not strictly to do with the game, but it is to do with the video. Oh dear. OBS. Yes, OBS had a moment with Stream Deck. That's all they needed. That was today. Oh, and there was an update for Train Sim World, which was 70 something gig, because I'll show you actually in the next video, but all of my previous routes for Train Sim World 2 are now available, which I was hoping they would be for $50 odd for a side grade. I'm a little bit salty about that too. Maybe we'll talk about that just briefly. Right, anyway, it's just going to be one of those videos, I think, today. I don't make them very often. Normally I'm quite patient and quite happy-go-lucky, but some things just push me over the edge. Right, wang that on full, because why not? Climb down. We're going to go refuel. In fact, you didn't tell me to put that in neutral. And to be honest with you, game, I prefer that in neutral when I'm not at the controls. Right. Open that. I do like the little handles move. Jump down here. We're going to go and... how much fuel's in this? You're telling me to refuel. It's full. I guess it's more the how to refuel as opposed to whether it needs it or not. It looks full to me. I don't know whether that gauge actually works. Yes, I know. We're going to fill it. Right, let's get the nozzle. Look at yes, look at it. Why? That's not how they do. Put it back in. I didn't want to put it back in. Right, move away. I feel like a snake charmer. That's madness. Right, you go in. Am I not close enough? Oh, please tell me I stopped slightly beyond where you told me. Did I stand on it? I mean, that's the thing. I might have to use the other one. Come on, please fit in here. Go. No, that's the fuel cap. Come on. No. Push it. Ugh. Oh dear. I think that needs to be a little further, doesn't it? I went past the stop, didn't I? Yeah, it's... Oh, are you okay? I don't have the accelerator left on, do I? The accelerator, the power. You're wobbling a bit. It might be just the engine ticking over. Right, let's get up here. No? You won't let me up here? Is it because that's open? Maybe. Right, close that. Will you let me up now? Oh, we could be stuck. No, there we go. Of course, go down to go up. Not step over. I wonder if you can just... Oh, there is no jump, is there? Is there a jump? No, there's no jump. I'm sad. Not in here anyway. Right, we're going to edge it forward a bit because reasons. What did I press there? I'm worried. What did I press? Train line ground reset. Well, that could have messed things up if I did press that. It's going well, guys. It's going absolutely as planned. Why are you wobbling so much? It scares me. Right. The brakes are off. I'm just going to pull it that far, I guess. I don't know. They'll do. Will that be close enough? I hope so. Stick that on neutral. Have you stopped? Yes. It only needed like a couple of inches, didn't it, really? Right, are we closer? Oh, look at that. That's even better. That's where you want it. What's that button? Don't touch it. Right, get you and put you in there. There we go. We got it. Lovely. Oh, I missed jump. I want to jump around. And yes, that's it. That's all that's done because it's full. And we're going to put this back in here and see what the hose does. There we go. It wasn't as bad. When I did it, it wrapped itself round here and it wouldn't stop moving. It was fantastic. Oh, I didn't use the... Oh, guys. See, I'm flustered now because everything's going wrong. Don't put the fuel cap on. Get in there. Yes. Fill it up and it's done. Stop refueling. There we go. Because it's full. Yeah, I forgot about that thing because it's needless. Oh, there we go, guys. It proved me right. Look at this. It did it. It hooked around. That's what it did. Maybe it's after you've used this. I don't know. It's brilliant. Sometimes having wonky physics is just the best. But yeah, we need to put the fuel cap back on. And then we can head round and... oh yeah, I can't jump over there. We can head round and hook up to our consist and then it's prepared and we're done. Now, I'm not sure once we get over there whether what it tells you in the tutorial to do even matters, which is we'll get to that once we get there. Right, stick it in reverse. Yeah, we're going to reverse all the way there. We have to couple to 92 vehicles, so just a small formation. We'll get that done. Oh yes, I'm gonna power up. Nope, that's the brakes. I'm gonna power you up a little bit before I release the brake, so we don't roll anywhere. Oh, and I'd recommend not sticking your head out of this window. Not that way. This way, because that's a bit close, isn't it? That could be very, very dangerous. Well, it is very dangerous. Makes me feel all sorts of uncomfortable. So we'll get back in just until we've left here, and we're gonna need to keep an eye on the speed as well. In fact, if we hit right twice, we go out the other side, and we can watch where we're going. And oh yeah, shut off the power there. Will be fine. Now, I guess what we should do, I'm going to slow us down a touch. There we go. We'll stick on a bit of independent brake, just so I can take a look at the switch situation. Last thing I need us doing is going on a tour of the yard. Where we're heading, the same way we came back. But we continue... Well, yeah. No, it's not the same way. We came this way. So instead, we're going up this way. There. I'm going to assume that changed automatically. So then we're heading that way, and then we're joining in where we were before. So I'm going to change that so it's aligned. And then we're scooting off that way. I'm going to align that one as well. Why not, since we're here. And finally, there's our consist of 92 wagons. That goes on a bit, doesn't it? Ooh, look at that. Shame we're not taking it. I think that's making my eyes go funny. I think we need a bit of help at the back there. I know we're going to have 4 engines at the front, but that's a lot. That's a lot. So yeah, OBS updated, which meant that Stream Deck didn't want to speak with OBS. That was pretty much right before I was originally going to record this. And I don't like clicking on anywhere or using shortcuts on the keyboard, because some of the shortcuts are in games, and the amount of times I used to stop myself recording they were set up with shortcuts. So Stream Deck's a lifesaver, and thankfully Stream Deck were on the ball and there was an update. So but it was a moment that I didn't need before recording. I just about got over the fact I'd spent way too much time achieving nothing, messing with these settings. Although it is running smooth today, isn't it? I don't know what the deal is with Train Sim World 3. I'm going to go there because there was a comment. Yep, just do that. In the previous video I did, or the first video for Train Sim World 3, where someone wasn't going to upgrade or side grade or buy Train Sim World 3. They already own Train Sim World 2 and a bunch of routes, but it seems like you're forced into buying Train Sim World 3 and whatever route you might not want to have future support. Is Train Sim World 2 now obsolete, done, end of life? Possibly. I mean, it's a bit rough if that is the case, especially since they're still selling the DLC on the store page for Train Sim World 2. Are we cutting through that? Oh, they're way too close. Yeah, we're cutting through these little, whatever they are, flowers. I think they're switch controls, right? Yeah, it's going straight through our train. Fairly confident they are. They need to be further away from the track, surely. Yeah, that's not good. But anyway, yeah, so I'm not sure what's going on there. I'm not keen on that business model at all. Say if you see a route you fancy in Train Sim World 3, because obviously the sensible thing is don't buy every route for Train Sim World or Train Simulator, otherwise you'd be absolutely broke, unless you can afford it, of course, and don't mind. But does it mean that if you see a route you have to first buy Train Sim World 3 or some package just to get your route if you haven't got Train Sim World 3 still on Train Sim World 2? Unknown. I really don't know what's going on with this upgrade system or side grade or changeover. Back in the old days in Train Simulator, it was optional whether you wanted the packages or the new routes that came out with the upgraded, say, TS 2019 or whatever the ones were that were still free. But everybody who owned the game got the base product, like whatever changes or improvements were made to Train Simulator, everybody got that. And then you could buy a discounted, like, sort of package that celebrated the release of that if you wanted. But it doesn't look that way anymore, does it? If this is how they're going to continue to go. I could be wrong. I could not find any way to freely transfer over to Train Sim World 3 without having to have any new routes and just have all of your Train Sim World 2 content available. It's a bit cheeky, certainly. But anyway, shall we hook up to this? The salt's real in this one. But that's probably oh yes, we need to brake, don't we? I'm going to brake. Have I put the rear ones? Yeah, I put the rear lights on. That's useful, isn't it? It doesn't matter. We're going to stop here because I want to show you something. Yeah, I'm obviously not showing you my patience. Let's get back in there and put the right lights on after we've already done all of the work in the yard. Where did I even turn those on? Yeah, it's this one, isn't it? No, not those. They need to be off. It was supposed to be these ones. I don't know why I used that one. Flustered guys. But I don't know whether it actually matters. But there's... Oh yeah, I should show you the way to do this without even leaving your seat. You can do most stuff, I think, via camera views. So if we go out to there, and then you can use your cursor keys to go around. There's the coupler bar. If you want to use it, you can. And I think the knuckles are just automatic and open on this. So we can do that, and we're just going to crawl up there. In fact, we can do it from that angle, can't we? Where were we? Over here. Yeah, we can pretend we're the second engineer or something, standing up and looking from this point. And we should be able to just get up there. I think we can control the train from here. There we go, the Loco. Oh yeah, release the brakes. We want to be, I think it was, I want to say under 3 miles an hour. I want to say under a mile an hour, to be fair. It's also downhill, which means we need to make good use of the brakes, aren't we? Just gradually slow down. Is the throttle off? It is. There we go, slowing down. We don't want to go too slow, we won't connect then. Is this perfect? Release it. Go. Is that it? Ooh, what's going on there? Oh, please don't crash after all this. That's not what I need to end this. What's going on? Oh! What on earth was that? I'm leaving that in. Sometimes I edit stuff out where it's my PC doing some weird things, but I've got no explanation for that. So, there we go. Guys, we did it. Shop class. I would imagine my score is awful. No! How on earth did I beat my original score? I have no idea. Absolutely zero idea, but there we go. That was a bit of yard work and a cold and dark start for Cajon Pass in the BNSF ES44C4. Not a mouthful at all. And I'll go back to less salt, I guess, in the next video. I don't know where we're going. We'll do something that will cheer me up, hopefully, and doesn't stutter too much. And we'll see how Train Sim World goes in the future. Are we going to have to keep paying for each iteration? That's awkward if that is the case. It might just be the initial release that's like that, and eventually it transitions and you buy a route and it comes with whatever the current iteration is of Train Sim World. Maybe, possibly, let's hope so. Alright guys, thank you for watching, and until next time, take care.